Alright, in day one, Biafrans. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I know that I am late, but ifekali, ana-awachi. Ana-apịarị, ana-awachi. But of course, just like I told you, na m ga-ewetara unu good news. Onya good news ka m ji bịa. So ị na-abata, i share video a. Ị na-abata, ị na-atụsa ozi a. Ị na-abata, ị na-atụsa ozi a maka na anyị elutego. I know that na since nkwu na anyị nwee good news, all the ndị autopilot niile agụchachago ntị ha, ewelugo mkpọrọiza agụchacha ntị ha, na-echezi ka ha ma na-aga anụ ka ihe wụdị good news a, because ọ na-amapụ ha obi. Good news a nkwu si nso ụtụtụ na-amapụ ha obi. And of course, we have a good news. We have a very important news that I would love to share with Biafrans. And this is not the good news I am talking about. Of course, there is other things that happen, but this is very, very special. But many people didn't notice. Many people didn't see it coming. But that is it. So in Abata, while you are joining us, share this video. While you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. I greet you according to your time zone. In Abatine, share the video. While you are sharing the video, then you continue to react on the video so that the video will continue to go viral. When you react on the video, the video continue to share itself. Likewise, you are on the other platforms. Wherever you are watching from, we are also in 3 platforms. So whichever one you are watching from, on X, on YouTube, like the video, share the video. Because the more you like the video, the more the algorithm will do the sharing. The more you like the video, the more the algorithm will do the sharing. And I don't have much time. I am just here for a very, very brief moment, so that we will, we are going to actually, rejoice in this good news. Then I will do some analysis and some exposition. We call it a day. I am not here to treat a lot of topic, but I am here to do to show you a particular good news that has taken place. Of course, I know that our people don't pay attention, but share the video. Let our people join so that we will share this. Let our people join that we may share this good news. Let our people join that we may share the good news. Share the video. Welcome, Chadoski. Inviting the autopilot. Let them come. Because I know that I will educate them. Let me recognize those in the comment section. Let me recognize while we are waiting for our people to join in. Let me recognize you in that comment section first. So while you are joining, share the video. I see Chadoski Gold, welcome. And I see Ochiabu Uto. You are waiting. You won't be disappointed. You will not be disappointed, Ochiabu Uto. And I see, I am not actually here to preach. I am here to deliver the good news. And I see Chinasa Pauline Diko Cha Alakwe. The longest Biafran name the longest Biafra name, Chinasa Pauline Dikocha Alakwe. You are welcome to the program. You are welcome. Click the like button, share the video as we are moving forward. And I see Jane Amadi. Jane Amadi, that name sounds so familiar. Jane Amadi, that name sounds so familiar. Of course, we are going to actually, maybe we'll open the line. Maybe I will open the line, but share the video, invite others to join. Maybe I will open the line because I actually, let me see if my number is here. Let me see if my number is here. So my number is not here. So I am going to try to post the number. If anybody who have my number, you can post it. If you post it even on YouTube, I will be able to share it on Facebook as well, because I don't know, I forgot to share it. So let me continue to recognize you in that comment section as you are sharing the video. Wokoye Vincent. Wokoye Vincent, welcome. And Livingstone Promise, I salute you. Livingstone Promise. And Ike, is it Ifeanyi Chukwu, I salute you. Ndewo, welcome. And Peter Nworie, you are welcome, Peter Nworie. Collins Mozier, that name also sounds familiar. You are welcome to this. So now let us proceed. Of course, you see the picture I have in front of this what we are doing. Ugonnanya, welcome. Metusela de Melchizedek, Odogunwoke, welcome one name Woke. You are doing a great job too, brother. You are doing a great job. In fact, you are number one and number two, Odogunwoke. Honorha James, you are welcome. Honorha James, you are welcome. Ndewo. While you are joining, share the video, click the like button, because we see now we don't have more like, I don't know why. So, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. First of all, there is something I am going to read. Once I read that thing, after I read that thing, then I will analyze it. After analyzing it, I am going to, explain the news. I'm going to give you the good news. Now, I want to pick up from, of course, we are aware that the Supreme Court of Nigeria has delivered judgment on the election that happened, and that same judgment is the same judgment that was given by the Election Tribunal Court. Now, I want to read the verdict by the Supreme Court, and we are going to know exactly how the Supreme Court, delivered this judgment. And from knowing how Supreme Court delivered this judgment, then we will get to the good news. Now, let us read. I want to read first. Nigeria Supreme Court affirms Tinubu's presidential victory. Nigeria highest court dismisses the opposition's claim of fraud and the electoral law violation. Now, electoral law violation. Now, let us check here. Okay. Nigeria Supreme Court has upheld the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ending months of legal battle over the presidential race. The 7-member court ruled on the Thursday against the opposition's challenges of fraud and electoral law breaches during the election. Did you hear that? There is no merit in this appeal. Did you hear that? There is no merit in this appeal, and it is hereby dismissed, said Supreme Court Judge John Okore Okwonyibo. Said Supreme Court Judge John Okore Okwonyibo. The court decision, which is final, gives Tinubu a firm mandate to lead. Tinubu, a 71-year-old former governor of the capital, Lagos, Lagos was elected president in February in the closest race in Nigeria modern history. How he won? Okay, just hold on. I am actually getting distracted here. Just one moment. All right. Sorry for that. Let's proceed. Okay, let me continue reading. Tinubu, a 71-year-old former governor of the capital, Lagos, was elected president in February in the closest race in Nigeria modern history. He won 37% of the vote, narrowly topping People's Democratic Party (PDP) candidate Atiku Abubakar and the Labour Party Peter Obi. Narrowly. Now, he won. Okay, Abubakar and Obi received 29% and 25% of the vote, respectively. Legal tussles. The two opposition candidates filed legal challenges to the result, arguing that Nigeria Election Commission had failed to digitally transmit results from polling station as promised. That is this was the charges. One of the charges that was actually laid against the election result, that it was not transmitted digitally as promised. This is as what promised. Now, I want you to understand, when you hear as promised, I want you to know that this as promised simply means that there was a consensus that during election there will be a beaver where immediately when the election is done, in every center the vote will be uploaded to the beaver, so that digitally, so that it will, number one, make the counting of the vote easy. It will mitigate the rigging of the election. So that was the reason why the beaver was introduced from the first place, right? Now, they are charging against the INEC that the election was not uploaded from the center, which actually gave them it gave the case actually a bit of a stronghold, because if there was a consensus that made Nigeria to purchase or procure this beaver, it means that that beaver, you see, it was procured for the sake of to mitigate election rigging or election fraud. Now, the beaver did not do its job. So that means the procurement of such beaver was a wasteful expenditure. It was a wasteful expenditure. Why was it bought when it was not going to be used? But this thing I am saying right now, it is called a medicine after death. Believe you me, there is a case. They have a case. You see, if you, Peter Obi, have a case against the Nigeria Election Commission, which is INEC, they have a strong case against them. But now, do you know what happened? They never presented the case. Will I say that they never presented the case where they're supposed to present it, right? That is number one. Because if you read here, they say that the opposition candidate filed legal challenges to the result, arguing that Nigeria Election Commission had failed to transmit the result digitally from polling station as promised. Now, when this election tribunal gave their verdict, if you remember when they gave their verdict, I told you in this platform that that verdict that the election tribunal gave, it is not going to be, it does not have prospect of appeal. I said it. So many of you who are actually, listen to my video the same day that election was, tribunal issued their judgment. I told you that he does not have a prospect of appeal. Do you know why? Because I've seen how INEC and how the judges were able to quash that, case. They quashed it in a way that it is no law, that there is no place written in the Nigeria Constitution that there must be, that the vote must be uploaded through the beaver, which was introduced. So if there is no law, there will be no breaking of law. So that is where these people were so intelligent to go. Now, that is number one. Number two is that they do not have, a solid evidence against Tinubu that he does not have, he forged the result, or that he impersonates somebody in the varsity, or that there was no solid proof about the case of drug trafficking in Chicago. So all these things, they were not able to present it. So the court quashed all those things. There is no solid evidence to actually, nail or to capitalize on all the charges leveled against Tinubu and against INEC. When that judgment was delivered from the electoral tribunal, I told you it has no prospect of appeal. Because I have seen the judgment. Whoever that delivered that judgment, or whoever that, filed this judgment, was a very, very intelligent person. He was a very, I believe it is even, I believe that judgment came from the high places. It came from the high places, believe you me. Because when you see a judgment that has a prospect of appeal, you will know. I want you to know, of course, one thing is, people will always try their luck. And of course, you will be fighting until police arrive. That is one thing, how resolute, the lawyers in Nigeria are. They fight until, the end of it. That is actually what makes them professionals. And they will not, of course, they will never come up to tell you, no, this case has no prospect of appeal. They won't, because they have to try. Because in court of law, it is about proving a fact or proving a point. If you are not able to bring a superior argument, you are not going anywhere. That is the reason why sometimes in the court of law, you find somebody who is innocent going to jail, or you find somebody who is presumed to be guilty. Maybe you saw them doing that, but you don't have anything against them. You don't have a strong evidence against them. It will not actually, take them anywhere. So that is that is exactly what is going on here. So let me finish. I am actually reading this from Al Jazeera. I'm reading it from Al Jazeera. The Election Commission acknowledged glitches in the voting system but denied that the election integrity had been compromised. The opposition also contended that since Tinubu won less than 25% of the vote in the federal capital, Abuja, he was under the legal threshold to be declared victory. The court, however, disagreed with this interpretation, ruling that Tinubu had indeed met the required threshold of winning 25% of the vote in the two-thirds of all 36 states and Abuja combined. Most Nigeria elections have sparked legal disputes since the country established democratic rule in 1999. However, Nigeria's Supreme Court has never upended a presidential result. Nigeria's Supreme Court has never upended an election. So it means that there has never been a turnaround after a president is crowned. Nigeria's Supreme Court has never done that. That's what they do. The most Nigeria election, okay, now, who is Tinubu? Okay, Al Jazeera is, who is Tinubu? Tinubu is a Muslim born in Nigeria, in Nigeria's Yoruba-speaking southwest, belongs to Nigeria's ruling All Progressive Congress Party. Trained as an accountant in the US. Did you see what Al Jazeera wrote for him? Trained as an accountant in the US. He went on to become a political activist in Nigeria before becoming a senator and later governor of Lagos State, which he led from 1999. To 2007. From 1999 to 2007. Since taking presidential office in May, Tinubu has introduced key economic reform that he said will lure investors and make Nigeria a regional economic powerhouse. They include axing an expensive fuel subsidy and introducing a market-oriented exchange rate. That's what they said. Now, Tinubu faces... What the hell? What's wrong with my cursor? Tinubu will face numerous other challenges during his 4-year term. His government is currently grappling with significant security threats from an armed rebellion in the northeast to kidnapping gangs that have snatched thousands of ransom in a year. It is also struggling to rein in high inflation. Okay, let me just leave it here. I think I have actually, read the part I want us to concentrate on. And let me remind you that part again, that the election tribunal judgment stands according to the appeal court. Because if you heard what election tribunal judgment gave, the verdict they gave, if you heard it, you don't even need to know the law to know that it does not have a prospect of appeal. And I told those obedient movement that time, I told them that going to Supreme Court is a waste of time. So many of you who comes to this program, you will still remember that. Because when we see things that has prospect of appeal, we know it. Any judgment that is delivered that has prospect of appeal, I know. Now, because, I have seen judgment delivered. I have seen appeal, being, the judgment in appeal being delivered after, hearing the initial, judgment delivered. So, now, let us now bring it to the context of what is going on. Don't forget, the election tribunal delivered a judgment saying that all the charges laid against Tinubu does not have a substantial evidence. You know what is a substantial evidence? You cannot prove it beyond the reasonable doubt, which means so they don't have a substantial evidence from the election tribunal. And the election tribunal is the court that tried the case of this Tinubu. He tried it, he delivered the judgment. And that judgment that he delivered went on trial in the appeal court of Nigeria, in the Supreme Court of Nigeria, which is the higher court, the apex court of the land. It went for trial. That verdict that was given, remember the shenanigan of Atiku. Let me tell you how this court works. Once a case, a judgment is delivered, you now proceed to appeal in the apex court of the land. Apex court of the land does not stand, they will not establish a new trial. Are you aware of that? They don't establish a new trial. Apex court of the land, their job is to try the verdict given by the lower court and deliver a judgment if the verdict is going to stand or if the verdict is going to be nullified, because they will do investigation to see if this judgment is obtained within the ambit of the law and if the judges were not biased. Now, you see how they did it. So let me now tell you, be honest with you, what Atiku went to United States, or what Peter Obi went to wherever they went to, looking for what is not looking for them. All those things are just, they were just trying their luck. Believe you me, they were trying their luck. You can't present such things in the Supreme Court. Where they're supposed to present all those things is the court of the court where the judgment was delivered before the Supreme Court. I don't know if I'm allowed to call it the court of the first instance, which is the election tribunal court. That is where Peter Obi and Atiku was supposed to be prepared. If they were not prepared, provide all their evidences and hand it over to the election tribunal court. That means that if Peter Obi and Atiku, no matter what they go to US to extract, it means that it doesn't have any stronghold anymore, because that a judgment has been delivered on this case. That judgment that was delivered is going through a test in the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court, you cannot start saying guilty or not guilty. They don't say guilty or not guilty in Supreme Court, are you? Are you aware of that? So why then did they go to say that they are getting a result? They are getting a criminal record. FBI said they will release the record of the drug case in Chicago. Then they were giving you people, hope to hold on. While people who are, all these people they know. I don't know, of course they know. They just were giving you people hope. Went and do all the things they did in the United States, knowing that the Supreme Court is not there to collect evidences. Supreme Court is not there to start trial. Supreme Court is to make, check the merit of the judgment. The Supreme Court is there to check the merit of the judgment. They will investigate and evaluate all the evidence that was presented from before the judgment was delivered. If those evidence does not, it does not have a substantial, if it doesn't have if they don't have a substantial evidence to prove that this man rigged the election, which the court proved that they don't have such substantial evidence, and it ended in the court of the first instance, I believe, which is the election tribunal court. So they could not present their evidence in election tribunal court. The case was finished in the election tribunal court. What you saw in the Supreme Court was confirmation. Because whatever they presented in election tribunal court, the judgment delivered in election tribunal court, it was actually, the way they delivered that judgment, they delivered it in a way that you can't appeal it. I told you that day, you cannot appeal it. It is unappealable. Now, coming back to the real deal, you'll find out that the Supreme Court does not say guilty or not guilty. It does not say guilty or not guilty. Now, the next thing we need to tell, the next thing we have to say now is, just like there is organization that I've seen, they wrote this. There is this organization. They wrote something and said, congratulations. Those are that is the same, there are the same people. I believe it's Biafra Eagle. Biafra Eagle wrote this. I found this piece from Biafra Eagle. Of course, so many of you are aware of Biafra Eagle. So many of you might be aware of Biafra Eagle. They wrote a piece. This piece, they say, Biafra Eagle worldwide congratulate the Supreme Court judgment on the 26th October 2023, where they upheld the judgment of the lower court. We are looking forward to get judgment for our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, signed by Lion King. Now, it was this thing that I saw that actually made me to realize that the judgment has been delivered in the election shenanigan that took place in Nigeria. It was this. And, Biafra Eagle, there are people who are very, very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. And I actually, I applaud Biafra Eagle for actually, bringing my mind to it. Because immediately when I saw this piece, I noticed the judgment has been delivered. And of course, we are pushing every corner, every areas. We are agitating. When we are offline here, we are agitating. We are maybe in one media platform, in one media, mainstream media, or the other, pushing the agitation, creating the awareness, but it is not everything that comes out. But time will come when they will come out. But that is by the way. I want you to know that what Biafra Eagle did here, it is a very, very intelligent move. It is a very, very intelligent move. Should I tell you why it is intelligent? Because Biafra Eagle understand how court operates. Do you know why? The Supreme Court did not start trying the election result. They didn't start trying the election result. They presented their cases. Supreme Court looked back on the evidence presented before the election tribunal and find out this evidence, they don't have a substantial, they don't have, they're not, strong enough. That's why the tribunal delivered their judgment. And we agree. We agree with it. We are not going to argue it. Of course, we told P2B from the beginning, you are not going anywhere. Because the people you are dealing with is the principalities and power. And they make the law. The same people you are dealing with, they make the law. They are the same people who will give you the evidence. They are the same people who gave you the one that does not have a substantial, that is not substantial to prove you right. Because they will just give you some. Now I want you to know that the Supreme Court did what Supreme Court does. Where you got it wrong was from the election tribunal. Now, coming back to what Biafra Eagle posted, they congratulated the Supreme Court for their judgment delivered. Now, if you look at the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today, let's go there. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case was delivered by appeal court. Appeal court. The court that before, after appeal court, you get the apex court. So appeal court is, the higher court, while Supreme Court is apex court, right? So appeal court Welucha, Supreme Court Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's judgment was delivered on the 13th of October 2022. Correct me in that date if I'm wrong, because I'm always making mistakes with date. It doesn't mean that I don't know, I am not aware, but correct me with that date if I am wrong. Now, appeal court gave a verdict saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. Remember, from the court of the first instance, which is the high court of Bintanyaku, Nigeria State was always establishing a new count charges. They've been establishing new count charges. Each and every court date, you will find them amending count charges, which is improper. Now, it is not something that you will entertain during appeal, right? Did you see any amendment during the appeal, which is from the appeal court? Appeal court saw the verdict given by the Bintanyaku, which is a lower court, by striking, I think, 7 count charges. Appeal court saw that it was proper, but she's supposed to strike out all the count charges. Appeal court helped her to strike it out because they know better. They struck it out and they declare Mazi Nnamdi Kanu discharged and acquitted. And by not having any evidence to show that there was extradition treaty established between Nigeria and Kenya, there is no evidence to present that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, not extraordinary rendition. So Nigeria prosecutor could not present, or Nigeria state could not present any substantial evidence that will back them up, claiming that their intelligence and international treaties enabled them to rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They couldn't prove it, which actually indicted the Nigerian state, and they quashed all the charges laid against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because extraordinary rendition quashed all of that. Regardless of whatever they borrowed and labeled against the frivolous charges given against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, extraordinary rendition quashed it, because you cannot break a law and come back and claim you want to uphold the law. It can never work in any law. Now, the appeal court of Nigeria, with the 3-man panel, well-learned, and those with, of course, if you think about what Nigeria state presented, if you think about what they presented, they set a trap for themselves. Of course, they were led by imposters, so they don't have intelligence. They don't have intelligence. They don't. In fact, even if they have intelligence, if you could do something wrong, if you do something wrong and bring yourself to court, you can never win as long as the opposition lawyer is competent. So, you know what I'm going to do now? I am going to give kudos to our lawyers. Kudos to our lawyers. They did a very wonderful job there. Lawyers. Very, very competent lawyers who knows exactly what they were doing. That is the reason why they capitalized on that issue of extraordinary. issue of that extraordinary, it is very crucial. And that was what nailed the Nigeria state. Torture. Torture. They meted on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which quashed all the case that is labeled against him. Now, the Nigeria state decided that they will implement stay of execution. They will now charge stay of execution through Malami, who can override who can override the judgment, but he did it arbitrarily. That's what he did. Overriding the Supreme Court judgment to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was done arbitrarily. Malami, who is actually owing Nigeria more than 600 million or 600 billion, is the one who override the judgment given by the appeal court, which now made Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or forced Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to continuously be detained in a solitary confinement of the DSS. Now, coming back to this issue now, how Supreme Court handles issue. There was a hearing on the when was that hearing? On the 5th of October. There was a hearing on the 5th of October. That hearing took place where the Nigeria state presented their own case. The reason why they did not agree with the Supreme Court verdict. Now our competent legal team presented their cause that this judgment is authentic and was done unbiased within the ambit of the law. Now, the Supreme Court looked at it. They've looked at it. Oh, don't say they are looking at it. Supreme Court already they know they have written the judgment. We know they have written the judgment. Do you know what is holding the judgment? The only thing holding that judgment is 11th of this 11th of November. 11th of November is the only thing holding that judgment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. 11th of November. Now, I want you to know that Supreme Court heard the reason why the appeal court delivered a judgment on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the Supreme Court have seen they've checked it. There is no flaws in the judgment delivered. They kept it aside. That is the reason why. Did you know the reason why you saw the news delivered by who is this guy? Showeres TV newspaper. Is it newspaper or news channel? That was the reason why you saw what they actually wrote, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was supposed to be released, but Hope Uzodinma advised otherwise. Do you know why Hope Uzodinma was advising otherwise? Because, like I told you, the Supreme Court have written their judgment. And their judgment is not coming, what they have written, it is not against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is a judgment in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because the case Nigeria is trying to appeal in the apex court has no prospect of appeal. This is not, it is not something that, and it is not something that you need to, of course we know that Nigeria does what they want. Nigeria just do what they want. We know that. But the whole world can see that judgment has no merit of appeal. As long as the issue of jurisdiction becomes crucial, it has no merit of appeal. So that is the reason why Supreme Court, it didn't take them long for them to compile the judgment. But what prolonged the judgment day is because of politics that is happening in Nigeria. Politics that is happening in Nigeria. If not politics that is happening in Nigeria, Supreme Court can say now, in the next coming month, in the next week, we are going to deliver a judgment. In the coming weeks, they will actually overrule that date given on the 15th of December. They will rule the case. But the politics that is playing in Nigeria is the reason why. Remember, if you follow all the information that I always bring to you, when I told you that they have investigated all this and they found out that there is nothing to hold against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is number one. Now I told you again that it is because of election tribunal. First of all, what held Mazi Nnamdi Kanu up until today? Election tribunal. They were using him as a joker, political joker. Now, the joker is finished. The political joker is finished on their side. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is actually, technically a free man that is still held, illegally. Believe you, technically he's a free man right now that is still just there for formality purpose. For formality of the politics that is being played, especially the Imo State upcoming. Because now the president is no longer going to be needing him there. Because everything is over. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free to go. So that, of course, the southeastern region, they will mellow down. Just like I told you from the beginning. All this judgment of election was delivered. You see how they were delivered, they were delivered bumper to bumper. Because there is no more time. Now, at the end of the day, Supreme Court cannot go back to do trial because trial is over. Guilty or not guilty is over. So the Supreme Court is doing trial on the verdict, which there is no bias. There is no biased judge who gave that verdict because that verdict was given on a merit of the case presented by our tactical and indefatigable legal team. So they presented that case in a way that it will not have a prospect of appeal. But formality sake, Nigeria knows, the judges knows, the lawyers are aware that it has no prospect of appeal. But for formality's sake, they have to go and, of course, it is a time-wasting strategy. It is time-wasting strategy for the sake of the politics being played. So you see the way that the Nigeria state delivered, the Apex Court delivered a judgment for Tinubu. Because when we saw the case, we told you, obedient, tell Obi to stop wasting your time because the judgment delivered has no prospect of appeal. The same way you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case has no prospect of appeal. It has no merit to be to appeal because the judgment is clear. It is clear, it is sharp, it is steady. It is stable judgment. Issue of jurisdiction. You can't override the issue of jurisdiction. You cannot. Have you now seen all these things that I've been telling you? You will watch it the way it is going to play out. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is technically free. That is the good news. The Supreme Court delivered judgment. They did not go to start saying, where is your evidence? And then after that, the Supreme Court is not a court that does trial. They don't do trial. Supreme Court is there to say, Does this judgment have merit to stand? Yes or no? And then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, it has merit to stand. Issue of extraordinary rendition, an issue of jurisdiction, nullifies everything that this Nigeria government, all those bogus things that they amended even 20 times, issue of jurisdiction nullified all of them. Forget about all these people who come to the media name making noise. Forget about those people. Those people are inconsequential. You know, law court is what are you able to prove? That is law court. What are you able to prove? What do you have at your disposal? Does it have merit to proceedings? Now, the same way, all these things you see, Atiku, Peter Obi, went to America, and we have obtained the certificate, and we have obtained the case, all these things, all that. I know it was just a game. It was just a play, a formality. Because you cannot finish a court. That court finished in the election tribunal. And they are aware of it. They are aware of it that case finished in the election tribunal. Why did they not go? If they are not in these things together, ask yourself, if these people were not in this game together, why is it only after election tribunal that they realize that they have to go to US to go and bring the original results? Why is it after the tribunal they have to go to US and file a subpoena in order to obtain the results and check the one that was submitted to INEC? Why? Why wasn't it done before presenting the case? What was the hurry? What was the hurry? They are all in this shenanigan together. That's one thing I am going to tell you. The good news is, the same way they have delivered, they have upholded the judgment given by the election tribunal. The same way they are going to uphold the judgment given by Nigeria Appeal Court. That is it. That is it. Because there is nothing. What will Nigeria come to prove in appeal court? Nothing. All the proving and all this thing is finished. There is no more thing to prove. The only thing there now is to say the appeal court has no flaws. Appeal court judgment has no flaws, and it does not have flaws. You don't even need to go and study law to know that it does not have flaws. Because there are issues that you don't need to. As long as Nigeria were not able to provide documents, treaty, or provide the verdict given by the host nation to approve the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as long as they were not able to provide it, it is not done anywhere. It is not done anywhere. So the case of Nigeria has there is no substantial evidence to tag Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in anything that they have filed, those frivolous things they have filed. They have no merit, because you cannot defile the law in order to come for the favor of the law. If you want the favor of the law, you will walk through the law. You will walk according to the law. You cannot walk, And of course, do you know the reason why they could not walk according to the law or through the law? Because they are well aware that if they go through the law, there is no way any nation will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to them. So they are well aware. They just picked up Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not to try him in a court, but they pick him up to keep him, cage him for that moment of what they are planning, so that once they are able to achieve what they are planning at that moment, the pressure becomes too much. They release him. But now, as daft as your previous predecessor of Tinubu is, as daft as he was, he said, let him go through trial. I wouldn't say it was him being daft, but it is him being daft, because going through trial, number one, it is about you. As long as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has gone through trial, as long as he has gone through trial, it is going to nullify if there is anything that is called. Remember, IPOB was called a terrorist, right? By Nigeria state, not recognized any other place in the world, not by United Nations. It is not recognized. It is only by Malami. Malami is the one who orchestrated that, illegal labeling of IPOB a terrorist. So that is the reason why, one of the reasons why they brought out Ekperima in Finland. I heard that Ekperima said that if you mention his name, he is going to sue you. Ekperima Simon Ekpan Joko in Finland. I want you to sue me. Ekperima Simon Ekpan Joko, on your lawyer. Apollo. In a sue. And then a sue mad. Do you know that any day before, let me just digress a little bit. Any day Simon Ekpa decides that he will go into court with any IPOB member, that is the day Simon Ekpa will open everything, the can of worm against himself. I know people don't know about it. Because so many things you don't know is that the only thing that is enabling Simon doing what he's doing is that there has never been a litigation against or for. Because police in Ekpebu. Remember, police in Ekpebu. So he is intimidating you with litigation because he knows that what he's doing is criminal. I am still coming back to that. Let me not lose sight of what we are talking about. So, the Nigeria state is well aware that, or in fact, they are not well aware because Nigeria does not understand the law. Nigeria does not know what law entails. That is the reason why Nigeria, arrogant impostor say he should go and defend himself in the law. Defending himself in the law is going to make Nigeria a criminal, right? Defending himself in the law is going to quash the frivolous terrorist naming done against IPOB by the Nigeria state. They didn't see it coming. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in that court is a package. It is a package that is going to quash everything against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, against IPOB. They didn't see it coming because these are mediocrities. You see, all these, they are mediocrities. That is that is the reason why they do not know what to expect from a particular, situation. They don't know. Because these people, they are not technocrats. They are not taken into position of power by merit. They are taken into position of power through nepotism or nepotismo. That is exactly how they are actually taken into position of power. That's why when they go into that space, they become novice. They don't know what might be an outcome of a move that they will make or decisions that they are going to take. That is the reason why most of them are dependent on the international bodies to tell them what to do inside their own government, inside their own economy. Because these are not technocrats. They don't practice meritocracy. They practice favoritism, nepotism. These are the reason why most African countries, if not all, That is the reason why they are not moving forward. Because everybody wants to add somebody that will become, as long as you are here, both of us, we will be compatible with each other's criminality. If I bring you here, if I steal, you cover from this side. If you steal, I cover from this side. That's exactly why, the reason why it is not going well for every leadership in Africa. So that is the reason why the Nigeria state, who does not even understand the law, I don't know who was advising them. I don't understand. I thought Malami was supposed to be a person who knows the law. He's a son. He's a son. Malami, right? I thought he was supposed to know better. But he knows everything they did against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the only thing I agree with the Christianity. They will tell you your enemy will celebrate you, or your enemy will elevate you without him knowing. Let me just pick it up from these people. Does not mean that they are not what they are. They are what they are. But they said your enemy will be the one to elevate you without them knowing, or celebrate you without them knowing. That is exactly the reason why Tinubu and the impostor of Tinubu and Malami, placed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in that position. You know why? Because God allowed it so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be actually, exonerated. And IPOB will be exonerated. And that is what has taken place. But most of you might be thinking that this dude is crazy. This dude is not crazy. This dude is telling you a reality. That is exactly what it is. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as we are speaking today, he's technically a free man. He is free. That is the reason why you are going to be rejoicing. The only thing holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is 11th of November. 11th of November. That's the only thing holding him. 11th of November. You know the reason why 11th of November is holding him? I will give you that as an assignment. Very, very important. I will give you that as an assignment. That's the only thing holding him. Because the same way this judgment of appeal court to the election is passed. If you study the judgment, if you study the initial judgment given by the court of the first instance, if you study both, you will see there is no, you will understand the way, or will I say, the modus operandi of the apex court of the land. You will understand their modus operandi. Now, if you understand it, then contextualize it to what happened in appeal court and bring it to the presentation done on the 5th of October 2023. Then you will now come to conclusion that our leader is free indeed. And like I said, what inspired me, it is the article written by Biafra Eagle. So many people will see this article. Let me bring it again. Let me bring another one. So many of you will see this article. They will say, oh, these people are working with Nigeria. These people are working with Nigeria. Because you don't understand. People don't understand. Like, I don't know, whoever that wrote this piece is very, very, very intelligent. They saw exactly, they saw it accurately. I'm moving ahead to congratulate the Supreme Court. It is a quite honorable thing to do. Because Supreme Court is, as they deliver their judgment, which I can categorically tell you what Supreme Court did there. Remember that you cannot, you only, reciprocate what you have. You cannot otherwise. Let me read this one. I don't know why it does not want to be brought to the screen. Where is it? Let me try to bring this one to the screen. Let me save first. Let me save it then. I want to read this one again. I believe I have read the other one. There is too much things in this computer. It is actually, I think I have put in a lot into this computer, so it is heavy for it right now. It is quite heavy for it. Now I see here, congratulations on the Supreme Court judgment on the 26th of October 2023. We are looking forward to get the same judgment for our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is coming from Biafra Eagle. Now, when I saw this, I also saw that the proscription of IPOB has been quashed. Remember, the proscription of IPOB has been quashed, and let me see if I have that. Let me see if I have that judgment here. Just one moment. Let me see if I have it. The piece of that judgment. So IPOB is no longer a terrorist. So anybody who call IPOB a terrorist, be it media house, be it all this Udena and Dundo, all this Umoko Fulani Miss Blood, we take them to court. Let me read. Okay, I got it. It says, Justice A.O. Onovo of Enugu State High Court Thursday declared the proscription of indigenous people of Biafra by the Southeast Governor Forum as illegal, unconstitutional, null and void. Null and void. So IPOB is no longer proscribed. That is the reason why I told you. remember, all these things are in the package. They are all in the package of that impostor in Asorok telling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he was insulting us in the Western world. So let him go and answer for his crime in the court. All these things has everything to do with that statement. If he never made that statement, we wouldn't have gotten this far. Believe you me. Everything works together for our good. The leadership of this struggle, absence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are formidable. When it comes to, I don't know how do I classify these people? When it comes to, what do you call it? Intelligence, they have it. When it comes to pragmatism, they have it. When it comes to diplomatic, they have it. And when it comes to excellent decision, they are number one. This is not about making noise on social media. It is not about coming to social media. Tibo Zobo. You know what is that? That is called creating a peer pressure. It is called a peer pressure. You want to, you are doing something just to gain approval. You are doing something because, just to make people believe, to satisfy what people want or what people love to hear. That is peer pressure. creating a peer pressure. Because what this Ekperima in Finland and Joko Nwafulani, what he did or what he's been doing is all about, making people hear what he wants them to hear. And going to use these criminals he created on the ground to carry some of the criminal activities and bringing them in the media and taking responsibilities of their criminal activities. It is called a peer pressure. He actually put himself in a situation whereby if he does not prove to you that he is killing people, if he does not prove to you that he is doing something, he will not get your approval. So he placed himself in that conundrum. That's why he is under pressure 24 hours a day. Ekperima is under pressure. So he will always try to, devise a plan to bring you back to the map. Those people with no brains that follow him. He creates these things without having any aim of achieving anything. First of all, he thought, when he started counting days, Biafra is going to come. 200 days, 198 days, 100 days, 150 days, 10 days, 1 day, 2 days. At the end of the day, it didn't teach you any lesson. It never taught you any lesson. But you know who I blame for making, the only people I blame for making our people to have long suffering in the things that will never yield them any result. The people I blame are only the Christian pastors. Those are the people I blame. If have faith. If it doesn't happen this way, it will happen that way. They are the people I blame for destroying the brain of our people. These people are messy, go the brain of our people up. Our people can no longer reason like human beings. Because each and every Sunday, sometimes they go on Wednesday, sometimes they go Saturday, Friday, sometimes Saturday they go night vigil. Everything is have faith. Submit your curricula vitae. Have faith. You don't submit it, have faith, you will get a miracle job. Go and start doing something. Look for something and start doing. No, have faith. Go and pray in the church 7 days a week. Once you are able to fast 21 days, or sometimes you fast even 30 days, 40 days and 40 nights. Just like people who started fasting in Kenya. You see, black people, we have a big problem. People who started fasting in Kenya in the name that if they fast 40 days like Jesus, they will die and see Jesus. Or they will die or they will live and meet Jesus. If they fast 40 days, all of them died. Many of them were buried in shallow grave because they were fasting themselves to death. All in the name of, we are going to church. It is the belief of my church. It is Christianity. You see what black people does to themselves with that. So these people dealt with the mind of our people. It's in the pastor. The pastor need the cargo for. In fact, you see these Christian pastors in our land. These people need the Apota for Apiafa 36. Then tell them go and sin no more. Because these people, they have ruined the mind of our people. That is the reason why someone like Simon Ekpa will come. That is the reason why he was able to bring blessed sacrament, light candle, light this, light that, blessed sacrament behind him, all because people, because of course, they will see you, people who cut the type of hairstyle I cut they will see us as sinners. So this boy is very holy. That boy, you can see, did you see his blessed sacrament? Did you see the white cloth? Do you see the candle? It is the type of candle they put in the altar in the Catholic Church. That is You don't know that all these things, he knows. He studied what makes a black man stupid. What makes a black man follow blindly? It is only church. Act like you are a pastor. Act like you are more Christian than Pope. That's what makes a black man follow blindly. And that's exactly what he was able to implement. So many people doesn't know that those things are part of the things that captivated the mind of our people and placed it there. Now, because he has to create something that will continue to refresh the mind of these fools that are following him, he has to kill in order to shout woto woto, in order to get approval from these people. Because all these people are looking for kill, kill, kill. It doesn't matter who is being killed. Sit at home, sit at home. Some people who are lazy, do you know the reason why so many of them are enjoying sit at home? Some of them are in Nigeria. Some of them are in Nigeria, they are doing nothing. That's why they will say sit at home, sit at home, sit at home. Omo Yahoo, and I shout to sit at home. Because when they sit at home, all these other people are suffering. Omo Yahoo name sit at home. And on a yard at all. If you go otu esi jiri brain ndị be anyị na-ezuzu ezuzu, sit at home, nwa ga-ama nje akwụkwọ, nwa ya ga-anọ na Finland eje akwụkwọ. Have you ever wondered the reason why atụ ewu n'ubi ọga n'ọba? Ijugo onwe gị why o ji wụrụ this boy wa atụ ewu n'ubi ọga n'ọba? Enwero, if there is anything, if abụna nnechete this boy mmadụ, onye akpọ Simon, abụna nnechete bụ ya mmadụ, onye is nobody to me. You see, by making the sentiment, I will not even call it a statement, a sentiment he made that did he say that he will sue anybody who is going to insult him or who is going to call him Ekperima or whatever. And he will go. It shows that boy is somebody that has no brain. But he is opportune to find our people who are gullible. Onye a dị opportune ịfụ ndị be anyị isi na-enwere uche. Ndị pastor na ndị fada welgo uche ha ṅụọ garị. Wee uche ha tụọ ntụ nsị egbe. That is the type of people Simon was able to meet. And he keep refreshing their mind. When he thinks that everywhere is becoming quiet now, these people are no longer giving me accolade, these people are no longer following me, he will call one of his criminals. Go to checkpoint, kill any police you see there. Show us, send the picture on the internet. Because I need the kwego. Okwego ke jemifa. Yotago, jemeyo uzbo. That is opo to sagwa. Gadi ailo ebobolu mo for a police mo madeto. Well, picture even if you can duplicate the pictures to all the way the car about 100, duplicate it, bring it to the public, because our people like water. That's what he does. And the only reason why he is able to succeed, number one, Christianity. Number two, our people hate Nigeria with passion. And Nigeria knows that our people hate them with passion. That is the reason why Nigeria is so scared of referendum. Now, number three is that these people who hate Nigeria with passion does not know the modus operandi on how to defeat Nigeria. They believe that anything you are doing, including killing pregnant women, including destroying okra, nwanyi agụ na agụ na ele, nwanyi jisi ike, ịmara mgbe ọ kọrọ ọlụ ahụ ya kọta ọkwụrụ ahụ, ịmara how long ọ na-eche ka ọghọ ọkwụrụ ahụ ọkọ, ịmara ọgụgụ oge nwanyi afịa ka o jere welu tọọ isi akwụ ya wee wele aje gote ọkwụrụ ahụ ndị ayasa mbọsị a. Ka ndị mmadụ wee na-acha ụtụli a woto promise ọ ga-mecha ya. So these people na-esi amaro the difference between dealing with Nigeria and different between dealing with themselves. onyanwa bụ ndị na-amara ezi wiye solia. Remember, onwe ifu na aghọtara na ndị na-eso Simon. Ndị na-eso Simon, none of them knows Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I can categorically tell you, many of them does not know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And many of them that knows Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the reason why they are actually captivated with what Ekperima is doing is because none they hate in Nigeria too much, to the extent that they become blind. They don't know when they are dealing with themselves or when they are dealing with Nigeria. As long as it's action. Whether it is action on your mother's head, action on your cousin's head, action on you, they don't care. As long as it is called action on Nigeria. So those are the people who join IPOB because they want action. Those are the people who does not know unknown gunmen where they come from. They believe unknown gunmen was IPOB. That you find so many of them who just join IPOB because they believe unknown gunmen has anything to do with IPOB. Because if a action, anybody that will deal with the police, so anybody that will deal with Nigeria, because Nigeria have dealt, sometimes I don't blame them, but what I blame is their stupidity and gullibility. Or we fene we mi we bahano. Aga me tufu. Aga me tufu nde tufu. Because nanda anu wa umunna anyi nwe dali iberibe. Now, you find out that one way or the other, that action, Nigeria teach go her lesson in several locations. Teach go her lesson in several locations. When you are joining us, share the video, like the video. Continue to like the video. Click the like button, it is for free. When you are joining us, including those who are autopilot, click that like button, it is for free. Because nuna amarife. Iyo njikwa sunu nuna amarife bụ na unu ga-anọ ebe a na-adụ unu ọdụ, unu a na-akpali mmadụ. Ana m adụ unu ọdụ na-achọ ka m mee ovulu unu ka ọlụwa ọlụ, unu a na-akpali m. Instead unu ga na-apịlị m like button there, unu a na-akpali mmadụ. Yotago. So gụwa onye autopilot bịa hie ịkpali m, dekwa like alụm vidio anụnwa before m bụọ gị ọnụ. All for free ka a na-like video. Ihe na-eme ka ọ dịrị gị na mma. Ọ bụrụ sọ m ka ihe a na-eme ya adịrị mma. Ifu time nji wee yie vidio, ifu time nji wee yie, ifu time nji eme ya. Ọ maka na efe adịrọ. Ife a na-eme kali. Mana agaghị eji mgbagbu ghara ọgụ. Aga na-anụ ọgụ ntị polisi abịa. So ife na-eme ka ọ dịkwala unu mma. Unu nwa bụ ndị autopilot a na-eso nwakpudo anọ na Finland na-amali ife. Okwu ifu shenanigan o je create, ọ na-eme referendum. Shenanigan he created in the name of his doing referendum in Finland. Number one, the reason why he did it, onwezi onye kwu ya n'azụ. Oluzukwugo aloy ejimako. Oluzukwugi ya. The man who is a mediator for him, who is a politician also. So that is the reason why he has to go through this. We are organizing referendum in Finland, and people came. He organized such referendum in Finland. Do you know why? One of the reasons is because he want to, put it to the mind of the people that he has people supporting him. That is the reason why he lured those ifulefus. Lured them. How can you say that you have referendum in Finland? There is nobody who came there, official, Finland official. Onye na-claim kwelu unu na ọ na-alụ with Finland. Unu na ọ ga-enye unu Finland Declaration or Helsinki Declaration. Did you see any official in the parliament of Finland there? Is there any official invited that was spotted there? Because of course people are giving him money. Politicians who are sponsoring him, even those who are sponsoring him from the background that he doesn't even know. Those who are sponsoring his activities from the background, whenever he do woto, those people will pay money into his account. He will think they are donors. So, sometimes he will believe they are donors. Just when they hear woto, they pay money into his account. He doesn't know. But he knows some of them, of course. Many of them who sponsor his criminal activities. But there are people who are on the periphery, or who are on the background rather, who are actually, sponsoring him. Once he do one of the criminal activities, awalego melucha ya alu. So mbosobu na ocho ka etinyeli ego, ozu ụmụaka je no gbagbo unu one or two. Unu chọkwa kidnap one ka onwekwa ka na ego na abata. Unu nata we ego si ha na ego mgbo. But if you saw Gentle the other day, or Afia was Gentle called the Temple, which get off and can tell you on one side. Onuku Odeku na Malife. If there is anybody na Malife no what that boy ana about Temple called Gentle. Onya wa Malife onworo brain. Onwara akon uche. I tell you. Onwero ki digidel ni onye he just destroyed his life. A young boy like him destroyed his life. Makiya bota na mkpụrụ mmiri. I'm telling you. I wish these are nda wiye kwesi ibo ndị ga-abụla anyị ndị amị. Simon Jidefa mebicha ha na egbufa. It pain me so much each time I see that guy who's supposed to be a gallant soldier in future, if need be, that Simon Jidefa nchani na-egbu ha one by one. Otu ọ na onye efu akpọ Gentle or Temple. Either no si border up to border na exile. Otherwise, onye anyị ga-anụkwa one day na akwatu ya and ọ gaghị adị m obi mma. Ọ bụrụ maka akparamagwa uche onwero onye enwere uche nwanne. Ọkwa ka afia dị kedafia osino Temple kedafia ọkwa Temple ka Gentle ka afia na-akpọ dị akpọ biko chetagodo m ya let me address him accordingly. Because na that boy enwere uche. Onwere akọ na uche. Chai. Man. O bupụta onwe ya n'iru akwụkwọ ghọlụzie celebrity onye oshi. Ihe ọ na-akụzi wu celebrity onye oshi ka ọ na-akụzi ka ọ chọọ ịdị na-akụzi. Azideli nwa amama. Na nwatakịrị a nọ na Finland na-enwere uche na-amali ife. Ihe kpọpụta gị nwa akpụda. Nwa negodu nwoke dị ka gị malụ mma ndụ n'ume. Ọ kpọpụta gị lafuo gị. Iburu ilu gị dowe n'iru akwụkwọ. Bulu egbe na art. Imana onwe ife imana when I actually when you go for your competency, the first thing they need to teach you is that when you wield a gun, when you are wielding a gun, it gives you confidence, but understand that confidence it gives you is your demise. Because once you are holding a firearm, it gives you confidence, but that confidence that it is giving you, it is your death. Because you are always the target. The person that wields a firearm is always a target. But many people don't know. Just because they are opportune to wield a firearm, which they don't even know how to use. Most of these boys, they don't know how to use that thing they are holding. Now, you bring your photo, yourself into the media, knowing that you don't even know the person that is controlling you. You never see him one-on-one. If you be yiru, onye na-alafu gị, you never see him one-on-one. Ebe na-afụ na ọ na-akpọ gị na phone, or na ọ na-edishi command na phone, ị na-ege, ibulu ilu gị tinye n'ọkụ, bulu egbe, while na onwe communities. Onwe communities. Ijuru onwe gị ajụjụ before ime ya. Nwanne ihe enwe one anini, enwere otu anini. Ife enwe one deliko nwa amama, enwere otu deliko nwa amama. Ịghọtago? So if he in a mess, if he in a aftermath event of the Rico and all that. And if anene na Derico ji wuo mgbe ahụ maka na ndị mmadụ aghọtachabe ihe dị n'igwe odeshi. Ịghọtago? Mana kịta anụ oke na ụchụcha aghọtago ihe dị n'igwe odeshi. Dibịa gwọrọ ọzọ gburu dibịa. Pụta unu akọsụ ọgụ na Biafra land gbanaba Cameroon. Unu na chụọ ayaba na akụkpọrị. Unu agbana Cameroon na akụkpọrị wit chọọ ayaba na nwanne ya nwoke. Ife niile ha gbawara egbe onye isi ha pụtago. Onye isi ha pụtabekwa. Ndị Ambazonia ga-agbagide egbe gbaruo ka 1967 na ịgba. Ọlụ onye nene mme ofu ihe fụ na ọdabara ọlịa okulu odam before ma ọzọ. Ọkwado na-akwado wee ma ọzọ ma ọ bụ na ọ ga-eme ọzọ. Mana nke unu adịrị ya. Nke unu na-emewo mgbe ọwụ na-asha ụtụrụ woto unu fụ ha na onye ji egbe ọsịgị na ovi against Nigeria. Obi adịghị mma. So onwe ife digress. Asị m na most of 70, okay, let me put it this way, 80% of those who follow this guy are those who never knew Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu became more popular after he was arrested. Sorry, after he was kidnapped. After he was kidnapped, tortured. Now, that was this torture they gave to him. That kidnap, that held, without people seeing him, made him more popular. More popular. I didn't say he wasn't popular before, but he made him more popular. That people began to ask, who is this man? Who is this man? People never TV, never phone, never network, Facebook. They will begin to ask, who is this man? Some of them Jimakiaje go phone. Some of them Jimakiaje go TV, go radio. Kahanu go do, who is this? Koya we you there ne do to. Fabatazia close. Wenuzia and Negezi broadcast. Negezi broadcast. Without knowing context of the broadcast. Onuku nke anụ nwana na Finland wee jirizie aka amapụta. Because ọma na no pụta ha na South wa woto. Na onwe ndị iberibe ga-esori ya. Onye ka o ji akụsiri woto ike. Ndị a na-amali ihe a na-akọ amapụta. So ya. Ewulu ndị eji mezu okwu. Ọfa nwa niile if ị na-anya most of them ndị a na-amali ife a na-akọ ya ha nwa na comment section gị na-ede rubbish. Ọ bụrụkwa nna ha ma ihe ede. Ọ bụrụkwa nna ha ma ihe ede kama ha ga-edewe ya n'asụsụ be anyị because oyibo ka ha amara ede. Igbo nwakwa amara mma ha amakwa ede Igbo. So kama ha ga-edewe ya n'asụsụ be anyị because ha ma ndenwe ya n'oyibo ha na-akpụlọkwe na-aba na-akọ ọnụ na comment section. Fakọcha ọnụ ha baa n'ụlọ jeji na rani so echi ha shout wakwa woto. Since he shout woto ka ihe woto nyego gị. Enwebekwa ihe woto nyego since he tiwere woto. Enwebe ihe onye gị. Kama ife onye go gị wụ na ndị be anyị. Maka ọsọ ife a na-ekwu na ebulu ozu onye ọzọ dịka efuku nkụ. Ndị be anyị nọ na ground zero. Ha na-ata afụfụ woto ị na-shout. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all this woto ị na-shout onye nwa mere ha ji jidekwuo ya dị ya. And ama m na anyị na-agwakwu unu ya unu na-shout kwu woto more. Because nwakpudo anọ na Finland ga-eme unu ka unu na-shout woto more. Unu amara na nwakpudo enwere ebe odu unu eje. Nonsense ozuzu na Finland. Nonsense ahụ is all about otu isi udo onwe ya. Ime ihe o mee ihe ahụ onye ka o ji wee make sure that he didn't forget to tell you that if you insult him it has consequences. He's a government thug minister. A thug minister. Now soon if you insult him. A thug minister. Na mbanwu dị court. Ka ife ọ ga-agwa ndị court n'ime ya. Na ịkpali ya, na ịkpọ ya onye oshi. Na ịkpọ ya eze na-agụ. Ife ọ ga-ejekwa ndị court. Ka m gwa gị ife a na-akpọ ka m gwa gị enwe ife nwoke a na-achị mba ụwa niile dịkọrọ ọnụ. Unu ma nwoke a na-achị mba ụwa niile dịkọrọ ọnụ n'obodo oyibo. Mba ụwa niile dịkọrọ ọnụ gawo ndị ebe ejecha agwụ nke a na-ejekwa nke anyị na-edelụ edemede afta ede edemede wejelụfa nwoke a na-achị mba ụwa niile dịkọrọ ọnụ. O nwee ife okwu ịma na ndị ji anyị na-ana nwude ya na-akụkpọrọ ya maka na o kwuru eziokwu maka agha a na-anụ na mba etiti, mba ọwụwa anyanwụ etiti. Agha a na-anụ na mba ọwụwa anyanwụ etiti maka na o kwuru eziokwu kwuru n'etiti. Otu nsi kwuru n'etiti ịma na o nwere reason why nji kwuru n'etiti. And of course ịnụkwu ka leadership of IPOB ndị isi fa na-akụ ọfụma. Ọ bụrụ ndị ji nwanne ejiri emotion azọ freedom. O wee ihe people aghọtara ha na-efe na-eji emotion azọ nwere onwe. Nwanne ijiri emotion zọ nwere onwe nwanne ịdagbuili moto. Nwanne otu anwa esi kwuru n'etiti ndị mba etiti, ndị mba anụnwa akpọ ndị mba nchịkọrọ ụwa niile ọnụ a na-abịa ịchọ edele edemede fakwu n'etiti. Onye isi fakwu n'etiti onye nwa mee ndị aji anyị na-ana ndị beli ji anyị na-ana onye nwa mee fanwa ji wee kwechiri na atọ ọnụ against him. Nwaanyị ọ ga-eji kwuru n'etiti na ha na-asị ya si n'oche ahụ lituo. Ha na-ajụzi ya si n'oche lituo because for the first time ọ kwụ n'etiti. Nwaanyị ọ gaghị eji kwuru n'etiti. Ụwa niile kwụnyere ndị a na-eti ihe because a ma na ndị nke ọzọ bịara abịadachi anị. Ịma na a na-agwa unu na anị anwụ eziokwu na anị anwụ abụrọ nke ha, ọ bụrụkwanụ nke ndị ha na-eti ihe, mana ndị ha na-eti ihe buru ụzọ wee dachite anị anwụ. Mgbe ndị nke anyị pụrụ na anị anwụ gbagowe Amerịka, gbagowe Australia, gbagowe Haiti, gbagowe all those places ebe a na-achọ ebe a ga-enweta nri a ga. Ọ mgbe ahụ ka ndị nke anyị lapụrụ anị anwụ. Mana ndị nke ọzọ bụkwa ndị ọcha maka na ha na ndị anụ nwalele anyị ndị a na-ele anyị ha nwawo ndị kacha ego. Ndị unu na-akpọ ha dị ha n'akwụkwọ nsọ. Unu amarọ na ndị ahụ akpa ndị ori. Ịma ndị ori na-enwero ada enye chenji. Ọkwa unu fụrụ ihe nwoke ma nọ na Uganda nke a kpọrọ nwoke anọ na Uganda nke a kpọrọ ha si na ọ na-egbu mmadụ etinye na friji. Ha mechie art a movie against him. Oyi ka unu ga-ajụ nwoke Germany a nwoke Germany anụnwa nke a si n'ekwensu. Unu ga-ajụ onwe unu nwoke ahụ wee ekwensu ka na nnene. Oyi unu ga-ajụ onwe nwoke ahụ nwoke Germany akpọrọ ekwensu mgbe ahụ na ogbuka ndị anọ na mgbara ebe a. Ịjụ onwe gị ihe o ji gbuo ha. Oyi ya ha na-eme na awụ ihe o ji gbuo ha maka ndị a dị aghụghọ. Ndị a nweta gị n'ihe a na-eme igote ele ndị a nweta gị dị a ịma mmechenwu. Ndị anye ga-ego ka itinye n'ahịa n'azụ. Ndị a ịfụ na nọ na mba etiti ọwụwa anyanwụ etiti a na-anụ agha. Ndị a nweta gị ha nye gị ego ịgba alụsụ. ha partner with you in business ịgba alụsụ. Maka ndị anụnwa enwekwa ebe ndị ada eme agbakwa ndị ada asị ka esi ekwu ya ha ada emekwa ihe ha ada enweta ego. Ha ada azụkwa afịa ụlọ adịrọ. Ihe unu na-apụta unu na-eche na ha ga-akwụ na akwụ anyị n'azụ na ha kwụ anyị n'azụ. Ọkwa ịkwụ anyị n'azụ n'ọnụ. Ọkwa unu ihe asarị ọkụba ọ gwara unu na ndị a na-alụkwa wit Nigeria. Ọ na ọ gwara unu ya and eziokwu ka ọ na-ekwu. Ọ bụla ile kama na unu ji emotion were azọ nwere onwe. Onye nwe ma ede ha n'akwụkwọ nsọ onye iwelu nke gị tụfuo iwelu nke onye ọzọ tinyere ya ebe because idoronu mmụ ide n'akwụkwọ nsọ egosigokwa gị gosigo ugboro n'ebe ede gị n'akwụkwọ nsọ na ọkwa gị wawo ndị anụnwa ndị a na-eklem na ha gosikwe gị ya ịgbadakwa n'ala anyị fụkwa na ọkwa the same afọ ahụ dịkwa n'akwụkwọ nsọ mana ọma mba gị isi maka na iwe onye ojii ị ga na imagine ka onye nzọpụta ga-esi wụrụ onye ojii. Ọ dịrọ possible ka ekekọrọ ụwa ga-esi dị ka m because na iwe onye ọjọọ obi gị jọrọ njọ, ị gaghị ekwe na ewe ezigbo ihe ga-esi na ebe ị nọpụta. Oye dịdị a ọkwa ifu ka esi wee nwude nwoke ga-ejide nwoke ahụ na-akpechi ya n'anwụ. Nwoke ahụ na nyalituo maka na o kwuru eziokwu. Ọkụ unu malụ ndị a jikọrọ ụwa ebe anụnwa akpọrọ ndị jikọrọ ụwa, ka unu malụ ndị na-achị ha, ka unu malụ ihe anyị na-agabiga. Ndị ga-awụ ha kwuo okwu ebe a jikọrọ ụwa, okwu enyewe ihe, okwu enwe ehie ife. Ọkwa ya na afa na-akpọ ya lituo maka na o kwuru eziokwu, maka na ọ sị ha jee na history no ha jee na history a wee mali ihe na-eme na mba etiti ọwụwa anyanwụ. No ha jee dị a ha amali ife na-eme dị a, ha jee back to history ha wee mụta ihe before ha akwudo na nkwudo ha ga-anọ dị ya. Onye nwe mee ndị a na-apụtasị na ha ji wee wụrụ ndị a na-eti ihe, ndị a na-anụsa agha, na ha ji wee wụrụ nwanne ha, na nwanne ha wee kwe nsu, na ha nwanne ha na-eji wee na-agwa ha. Ndị otu ijele mkpa ọfa ndị otu ijele ifili ya na nna na njọsụ na-akọ nọnsens. Ijugo onwe gị ekperima na-eme ka ndị nke bụ ụzọ choo, ndị nke gbapụta jee bido kote ọgụ ha ma nnụchanwụ. Ekperima na-eme ka ndị nke gbapụta jee kote ọgụ ha ma nnụchanwụ. Bịakwa kwụnyelụ ndị nke ọzọ na-eme na ha kwụnyelụ ebe ịfụtalụ ihe na ya akwụnye nke ha. Ka efe iche nwanne ọbụrụ iji blasfemi nwanne ejiro ka ya na-akpụ ya ejiri aghụghọ azọ freedom. Ife ihe akpọrọ aghụghọ ejiri aghụghọ azọ freedom. Ịghọtago? Ịma sọ ndị ga-enyenwuru anyị aka n'nnwere onwe anyị na-azọ. Ọkwa nwoke anụ oyi na-atụ, nwoke anụ ebe oyi na-atụ. Ọkwa sọsọ ndị ahụ ga-enyenwuru anyị aka na nnwere onwe anyị na-azọ. In fact, ihe ha ga-eji nyenwuru gị aka because ha mana no ife si na anị anyị ka eji anụsa ha ọgụ. Ịghọtago? Ife si na anị anyị wụ ihe eji enweta ego eji anụsa ha ọgụ. So iche ewe ihe wu na ịpụta ijiri ihe na-abịa iji n'aka ọkwa otu a ka isi enene ya ka ịmalụ nke ka ivu, ime ya otu a ka ịmalụ nke ka ivu. Ha mana ha natanwuo ha kwụsị ndị anụnwa na-eweta ihe na anị anyị na ya nwe nke ya ha nwere ọ kwụsịnwu ha na ha ndị enwezi ihe ha ji ama mbịazi gbawa ya ụja ka nkịta. So onye ahụ ga-anọnye nwuru gị zọọ nwere onwe. Forgetkwa ihe agwa gị na ha kwụnyalụ Naijiria mgbe agha. Akwa kwụnyalụ Naijiria mgbe agha ke ndị mee ya ọkwa mgbe ha na ndị ji anyị na wọyi mgbe ha na-eme oyi mgba nke ha kwụnyere. Mana kịta ha ada emezi oyi. Ekego steeti onye icheki onye ọ ga-adabalụ gị na ikwunyeli ya. Nke a ada emezi na m na ndị adị na mma bata onwebeghị ihe o meelụ gị. Ha pụtapụtụbekwa mmadụ one ha. O nwere ike ndị dị emotional ga na-asị gị na nwee ndị nke gbadata Naijiria mgbe ahụ ịbịa mee ihe ejije. Ifefa bịa bụ ime ihe ejije akpụrụfa. Ife niile awụ ihe a na-ancha niile wụkwa ihe ejije ma mkpụrụ akpụrụ ihe ejije. So that ka ha wee enwe ihe na-eme na mgbadabe ha. Ịpụta iche na gị na ndị akwụ ị na-ebunye ha sikriti a na-ebunyere ya ndị gị na ha na-eme ihe. Ọ dị ka unu amarọ ndị wụ ndị anụnwa wụ efu ndị awụ agwọ ifu ndị afọ agwọ gbuo ndị abefe igbo agwọ. Maka ihe na-eri unu ihe na-eme unu chee na ndị awụ mmadụ bụ maka na ede ha n'akwụkwọ nsọ. Edekwa ha n'akwụkwọ nsọ, ọ bụrụkwa ha nọ n'akwụkwọ nsọ na unu na-anụ afọ ahụ ha na-aza n'akwụkwọ nsọ. Because na enwe ihe njigwa unu na enwe ihe a na-akpọ na ife ihe ọwụ na-akpọ ihe mebulu mgba ihe mebulu na mgbe ochie. Ọ dị mkpa ka ị mali ya, ọ dị mkpa. And eji okwa na ofu ihe ama ihe mebulu mgbe ochie. Ọ ya nwa mee mfụ ndị na-agba Baịbụl ọkụ ndị ahụ na-agụgokwu ihe dị n'akwụkwọ amalụ ihe ede na ọfụma. Maka onwe onye ga-asị gị na ọ gụchaghị akwụkwọ nsọ, but ọ nwere ndị ga na-etu ọnụ na-asị gị ị ga-enweta nwụdị ya, but amarọ na ọ dị ya. ọ depend ihe na-achọ mana ọ dị n'aka onye ori. Akwụkwọ nsọ bụ ọ dị n'aka onye ori ahụ were ya saa gị isi. Ọkwa anyị nwawo ndị m ihe ede na akwụkwọ nsọ eburugo akwụkwọ nsọ na-akọwazi ndị ọcha anụnwụ unu fili na ọha nwe wetara akwụkwọ nsọ ha sịza na a ga-akwụsị iwepụta akwụkwọ nsọ. In fact na a ga-akụchi akwụkwọ nsọ na akwụkwọ nsọ na-eprichi hate. Akwụkwọ nsọ eprichi ọkwa hate since ha ji ya na-asa anyị isi. Oluzie mgbe anyị ghọtara ihe ede na akwụkwọ nsọ na ọ bụrụ ihe a haziri ndị isi ụka ka ha bịa n'ezi anyị. Oluzie mgbe anyị ghọtara ihe ede na ha achọzi ikuchi akwụkwọ nsọ mgbe awa memori na-achitegodu ịghọtago na ọkwa anyị nwa ka edere ihe ọkwa ndị nna nna anyị dere ihe anyị na-akọwazi ya onye nwa mee ihe ị ga-eji malụ na ebe a na-ekwu okwu na ebe ị na-awọchị m maọbụ na YouTube maọbụ na Facebook maọbụ na Twitter ihe ị ga-eji malụ na ebe ị na-awọchị m na ha fụrọ m n'anya ha fụrọ m n'anya ife ebe ị na-enene m na ha fụrọ m n'anya maka na ha ma na mma ife ihe akpọ politics ama m ọfụma ime ihe akpọ politics especially nke ndị mgbago na-ji ya eme ife ihe akpọ ihe meburu mgbe gara aga ama m ya onye nwere na-eweta ego ya fa ga na-ajụ onwe fa onye anụnwa imeperi ya nwanne ọkụzielu ndị mmadụ ihe ha amalụ. Onye nwe mee mbata n'ọgbọ mgbọsị ụfọdụ ha enye m mmadụ asaa ha na-enene ka ha gbuo mmụọ nji enweta ife na-enyefa ịghọtago maka na ndị ifo ha ma na ihe akpọrọ ife akpọrọ information is power. Fama ya ọfụma and fa chọrọ ka ịpụta na nwee access na-ewepụta ife a akpọrọ information fa chọrọ ya atọ. So ọ bụrụ na ị na-enene m, if you are watching me, I want you to know that I come online every day. I want you to know that I come online every day. So if you see that you haven't seen me online in a while, all you need to do, go to my page, because they will not tell you that I'm not online. They won't tell you I'm online, which is if I name all for free can name. Or if I name for free, like you say pialum like button there, all for free ki ga appear. You blow big teacher name man pelem like button. Man e ga no kwa here nenem. Na muti ye man e man pelem like button. And I pick for free. I saw one get go tell like button. Now, farmer if I ni ya no one aya, hama mbata online. Fe kwechili. Even it trace te batania. Fana aya na anyi fe na akuzi. Ibata anokata he bupu gi. Go nwe search ta ma ozo. O ma nkwezi. O nwe ka obugodu ni di esom. Ibata anokata he bupu gi. Ha bupu gi man search ta nzi ma ozo. Because na ha chọrọ ka inu ife na agwa gị. Oya ka njikwa gị nwoke anụ nwa nọ na Germany, nwoke Germany anụ nwa kolu mkpamkpa. Ndị ọcha niile ndị alaikoro. Iju onwe gị ka efe nwoke ahụ melụfa. Ka efe mee ndị ọcha niile alaikoro nwoke Germany. Iju bụ onwe gị why na akwụkwọ niile nwoke Germany ande enwero nke dị ebe a na-egote akwụkwọ. Enwero nke dị ebe a ga-awepụta igolo akwụkwọ gụọ, mana nwoke ahụ dere akwụkwọ. Ọ dere ọtụtụ akwụkwọ. Why? Maka na ha ma na ịgụọ ya ịmụta ihe. Enwefe a na-akpụ ige na okwu n'ọnụ ofu onye. Ige okwu n'ọnụ ofu onye nwanne ịfụzia na ife ị na-ege nke a chọọ ka ige. Mana ịnụ ebe a ike ikpe. Ọkwa ịghọta. Maka na ndị anyị na ha na-eme ya obi dị ha n'azụ. Ndị a bụrụ mmadụ fada eche ka isi eche. Ndị a wee ekwensu. Imi a na-akpọ ekwensu ifefa bụ anyanwụ ụtụtụ. Ọkwa ịma na Chukwu kpọrọ ekwensu anyanwụ ụtụtụ ifefa bụ. Ndị a ekwensu anyanwụ ụtụtụ ifefa bụ. mana unu agaghị aghọta. Unu agaghị aghọta maka na ọtụtụ n'ime unu je gụọ akwụkwọ Pọl degalụ ndị apọstụl. Ọkwa ifu ka a sị ga akwụkwọ Pọl degalụ ndị apọstụl, bata unu pụta unu asị na ọ degalụ ya ndị ọcha, ọ degalụ ya ndị be anyị, ụmụnne anyị nọ n'obodo ndị ọcha. Onye nwe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ji ọpụta oje Amerịka, ojegwa ha oziọma o wegalụ ndị mba Amerịka. Onye na-amarọ, onye na-anọ mgbe ewegara dị oziọma, ọpụta ọsị gị na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wejekwere ndị ọcha oziọma. Ọkwa otu unu si na ọkwa otu a ka ndị isi ụka ji agụ post leta. Ọsị gị na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wegalụ ndị ọcha oziọma. Ke ndị o wegara oziọma kwa ụmụnna anyị nọ n'obodo ndị ọcha ka o wegara. O jee Japan, o were oziọma jee wegara ụmụnna anyị nọ na Japan. Onye na-anọrọ mbọsị ewegara oziọma, ọ pụtazi ọsị gị na Nnamdi Kanu werukwara oziọma nwere onwe wegalụ ndị ọcha. Then ịpụtazịa mgbe ị nwetara o nwere ike ịnọgide ifu na o mekiro sens, isi mba ka adọka akwụkwọ anụ wee dee maka Nnamdi Kanu. Onye weta ya gbaa ya ọkụ akwụkwọ eji wee tinye anyị na ọnọdụ anyị nọ today. Ọ ife na-eme Baịbụl because na ndị na-agụ ya amara ya, ọ nọ n'aka ndị ọjọọ. It is in the wrong hand. That is the reason why you are rejecting it. It is in the wrong hand. Ị na-anya ọnya nwa ka m ga-awụ ifu ndị na-apụta site ka sị gị na eje skuulu ka a wee mụta ka esi abụ ndị isi ụka. Enwere ifefa na-eje amụta di ya. Ifefa na-eje amụta di ya bụ ife ndị ọcha na ndị anụnwa kụziri, ndị anụnwa mfiri n'ọha nwa bụ Baịbụl. Maka na ha buru akwa ịma na akwụkwọ nsọ efu akpọ Baịbụl. Ịma na ndị ọcha were akwụkwọ anụnwa for many years. Weli ya, they archived it for many years. Fe release ya until ha mụgide amụtacha ya, mụta ka esi ga-eji wee weli ya ghọrọ ya mmadụ. Because a sị na ebe ife inu dị ka ife ụtọ si apụta. Akwa ịnwa idea, ebe ife inu dị ka ife ụtọ si apụta. I say na good and evil work together. Are you aware? Good and evil work together. So that is the reason why famutia we woluzie tụgharịa akọ na uche anyị, mechezie bunyezie ya ndị ụka, ndị isi ụka bụrụzie welukwu ya na-atụgharị akọ na uche anyị. Because ihe ha ji tụgharịa akọ na uche anyị bụkwa ka ha wee weli adesa akọ na uche ga ebe ha ga-edesi ya, ka ihe hafe ịdị na-achọ practical education. If they go theory, why na enwe practical education na ana anyị before ndị ọcha abịa? Anyị nwe practical education, asị ka eziokwu anyị nwe ya. Ihe eji nwee practical education wụ na ifu boy a na-agba ọ practical education. Ifu onye anụ esu na onye a na-alụ mekanik, onye ahụ mekanik ije mụọ ọrụ n'aka ya, ọ practical education. Asị ka eziokwu ọ bụla education. Ọ maka na because onye nwa mee na unu aghọtarọ, unu fu onye na-alụ mekanik unu asị mba na onye anụnwa wee illiterate itibolịbọ. Maka na ọgụlọbịa na-asụrụ unu oyibo wụkwa asụsụ ndị ọcha. So na ọ dị ka ndị ọcha na pụtazịa na ha asị na onye amara Igbo asụ na ọ garọ skuul. Isinugo na onye amara Igbo asụ agarọ skuul. Ịma ngwana ya ndị mmadụ maka na ifili na oyibo wụ asụsụ a na-amụta na skuul. Ụbụrụ asụsụ a na-amụta na skuul. Oyibo wụ asụsụ ndị ọcha. Enwekwe n'ebe eji oyibo eme. Onye nwekwa ifukwa nwoke a na-achị ebe oyi na-atụ na-anụ agha, imegide ya niile ịgwagodi ya n'oyibo, ọsụọlụ gị ya n'obodo be ha. Because ọ chọrọ ka ọ gwa gị na oyibo nke ị na-asụrụ ya ka nke ya mma, nke ya wụ oyibo ya. Onye amara asụsụ be ha wụ onye agaro skuul. But anyị na-ewere asụsụ ndị ọcha dewe. Onye nwa ka ị ga-afụ ife ndị asacha anyị isi. Ekperima pụta bidozie ebe ndị akwụsị, bido ebe ndị akwụsị. Only one format ka eji eri ndị ojii ọrụ. One format. Mbe ha ni dịka holy nweje sekpuru anyị kpọrọ blessed sacrament, chinye aka enu na-ekpe na-ayọ. In fact, sometimes speak in tongues. Then you are now our people will now start following. but ịpụta ha na kpụọ one kind hairstyle ọkwa onye ori o ya ndị be anyị ga-agbu ọkwa onye ori onye nwa mee ọkwa the same thing ndị SARS na ndị Nigeria police ji wee gbuo a lot of people because na ịkpụ one kind of hairstyle ise tattoo osigo okwu onye ori o okwu onye ori ma mụa I don't like those things myself. That is naturally. I don't like it. If I liked it, I was going to have them. It doesn't make me a bad guy. But I'm now console while I am marking. We shouldn't mark anything on our body. Or we would lie. I am marking anything on our body. Man, on your own up feeling, on we go a mali or jawalo in Kiade. I'll console while I am. Anyị amaghị na o so n'iwu Chukwu nyere anyị mana ndị mmadụ amarọ so ihe niile a onye nwa ma efu m ọ gafe ha n'isi ụdị isi a na-akpụ ọ gafe ha na onwezi ọzọ m ga-etinye ịghọtago onwezi ọzọ m ga-etinye maka na ọdịnala anyị onwe ya na-ewepụ n'anụ were eri anụ ịghọtago and ọdịbendị na-eche ndị ọ dị mkpa ka anyị malụ ọdịbe anyị ọ bụrụkwa ndị apụtasịgo omenala sị ha omenala asịrị ha ya na-agwa gị ọdịbe anyị na-eche anyị ọdịbendị na-eche ndị enwe efe dị iche na ọdịbe anyị na omenala bụ nke amụtara amụta nke anọkpa ka ọkwuwe mana onwe nke dị be anyị bifo amụtawa omenala wetewa alụsị wetewe nke a kịta anụnwana ọkwụrụ na afụgo ndị dibịa a na-alụwago ndị ụka ọrụ a na-alụzi onwezi ụmụaka kweta na a na-alụzi ezigbo ọrụ onye ụmụaka bịa tụọ yahoo tụọ ha tụtara ego ha gbalụchawa onye a ga-esi iri ha oke ite ndị dibịa wee nọrụzie ebe ha nọ kịta anụnwa na-alacha aka ha nọrụzie na-alacha aka ọ bụrụ ihe isi from frying pan iwutu oje n'ọkụ likpuru oisi n'ọkụ likpuru na frying pan isi from n'aka ndị osi ụka pụta gbakpuru n'aka ndị dibịa ebe ọ ga-awa emele gị because na ịdị lazy ifu ndị ọwụna na-eje ụka 24 hours a day na-ekpe na-ayọ they are very lazy, mentally lazy, because na actually they don't want to do anything productive to make it in life. All they want to do is how to manipulate time and law. How to otu a ga-esi wee nwụta ya na ndụ without alụlọ ịlụrụ nnukwu ọrụ. Eziokwu na asị na ọ bụrụ onye na-alụ oke ọrụ ike na-enweta ego na onye na-alụ ọrụ uche, mana ọrụ uche ahụ asị gị na-alụ wụ olu iji akọ na uche gị mụta lụọ ya, ọ bụla ihe ziri ezi, ọ bụrụkwa ihe a ga-awụ isi ebe a pịofute si ebe a pịọba, ọ bụrụkwa apịa nwe. Like o nwere ndị nọ na Facebook a achụ ego ọlụ uche, ọ bụla ọlụ ike. Now o nwere ndị na-ebe a achụ ego, ihe ha ji nọ n'ebe a ọkwa efu the guy a na-akpọ Untouchable Comedy, ọkwa efu ka o ji wee lụọ mansion nke ya. Ọ work smart, nweta nke ya lụọ na-eme ọfụma. Mana o nwere ndị na-afụchi ihe anụnwa ha nọrọ na-achọ na-ekpe na-ayọ o nwere ka ọra m ebe a taka owe ka ọ dị, and at the end of the day onwebe ya ha ga-emefutala onwe ha. Adị m akpọkwa ndị a na onwe ya ha na-emela anyị but mana onwe ya na-akpọgodo ndị yutu anyị awụ ụmụaka anyị na-etonyite ka etinye fa n'uche ebe ha ga na-eme ihe dị mma. Ọ bụrụ iwu na a ga-emenata ihe ọjọọ befe enweta ego ọnya nwa mee ọ maka na apụta na ndị mmadụ a na-aghalụ unu ego n'elu echi unu chọka unu bịa gaa nke unu ka ya tụọ unu akụ na-atakasị ochi na nwata ọ na-atọ unu oke afa na-egbu nwa nkịta. Onye na-alafu ndị be anyị o mee unu enwere akọ na uche, unu enwere akọ na uche, unu amara ebe akụkọ anyị bido kọwa. O nwere onye na-akọ ebe akụkọ anyị bido kọwa nọ nke ndị ọcha wetara anyị su n'ebe o bido kọwa bụ ihe dị unu mkpa. Ọ wụ ihe bụ onye nwa mee na inwere onwe anyị katara aka ime ife akpọrọ nwere onwe anyị ọ ketara aka onye nwa mee somebody ga-esi ebe o si from nowhere bịasị unu woto promax unu ebido followe maka na unu enweghị ọgụgụ isi unu enwere ọgụgụ isi na-ekwu ọ dịghị ka na-akpali gị adị m akpali gị kama na m ga-asị gị atụpụ nkịta akpịrị gosi aka afọ ịdị aka atụ gị mvọ ihe m na-achọ ka nye gị ọgụgụ isi ofe m na-achọ and ọgụgụ isi ahụ ka m ga-enyekwanụ gị ma ị chọrọ ya ị ga-enwe ọgụgụ isi maka na ndị be anyị a sị na ndị be anyị ji uche agba izu all the very very important. All that glitters are not gold. All these people that are telling you shout woto promise. Forget these people. Forget them. These people are for genanya. For kwani ife na-eme n'anya. Si fefa na-eme ụzọ ha ga-esi wee mee ka ha ya sa ife na-eme. Maka na ndị ojii amarọ m onye merụ ndị ojii ife a. And all ife a na-eme gị ga-awụ ịgbagide chọọchị ikpegide ekpere ọkpọrọ gị jewe na be dibịa ka ịma na a ga-agwọ ogo oke ite ma a ga-achịrị gị oke awele ma ọ ga-emerụ gị eruru all ife a na-eme gị ịpụta ipegheriwe onye nwa na-eme bikos onye nwa mekwe ekperima efu ihe akwụkwọ ihe na-enye ya nsogbu ka o bilọngwọ maka enwe ihe a na-akpọ ọ chọrọ ka ọma na ọ ga-achụpụ poverty na ndụ ya but ọ maazị ka o wuo ewuo ọ maazị dat na ọ ka mma na iwu n'ezigbo ihe karịa iwu na ajọ ife ọ marọ ihe na-agụ ya ka o wuo ewuo ka ọ wee wụrụ n'ọnya nwa na ọ pụtazi ose etie isi ya n'ife ga-eri isi ya ife ọ ga na-eme were oke ọchịchọ tinye ya ndị be anyị na-adị eji uche ha eso ewere akọ na uche gị were ya na-emezu ihe ha na-eme nwanza na-ele ọkọ si na ọ na-ara mmanụ ọ bụ ife na-eme ndị be anyị inezi anya n'ihe a na-eme ịghọtazi ya dat na o nwere ike mgbe ị ga-eji wee na-anya na-achị anya azụ ifu na ụzọ agago fa na ụzọ egeteghị aka afọ m ụmụ okoko nọ na mba ebe a na-anụ ọgụ nke ọzọ si evidio si na onye nke nwa na-atụtụ komkom na ọ na-atụtụ komkom na street nke ọzọ nke a bịakwa return ọ vidio si na ọ na-ele ọkịrịka ifu na ife ndị iberibe ndị na-enwere uche ịtụtụ komkom na street na akpa gị ilele ọkịrịka na akpa gị onwe ndị ji ọkịrịka lụọ ụlọ elu onwe ndị ji ọkịrịka lụọ ụlọ elu nwee ndị ji ịtụtụ komkom na streeti lụkwa nkefa ọ dịpendị otu isi chọọ ime nke gị ịtụtụ komkom na streeti ọkwa ịtụtụ ka eje ebe a na-recycle ya ndị na-ego ihe ahụ ọkwa ya make o so na one of the things make China great today maka komkom ahụ ị na-atụtụ kọcha ubo ibu elesifa fewele eje lụpụta ife ndị ọzọ go na-atụtụzi this ashamed of yourself because unu ụmụaka ndị na-enwere uche ịpụta isi onye na-atụtụ na-ele ọkịrịka isi na ọ nọkwa na ọkịrịka ka ọ na-ele na ọ sịrị m sị na ọ na-alụ ifu na ndị na-enwere uche ancha niile ifukwa na ọkwa ndị na-eso Ekperima in Finland ifu na ndị na-enwere uche ọ bụrụkwa nna mmadụ pụtara n'iru akwụkwọ na-ekwu na-akọ bụ na o nwere uche ọ bụrụkwa ya n'ọkwa mgbe ịghọta mgbe onye ahụ kpara agwa ịmalụ ebe imelụ ka uche ara maka ndị be anyị enwere uche atọ ịpụta enwe we hold our people on high esteem but a sị na ọ na-adị mma ọtụtụ ụbọchị ka ikuku kuo ka afọ ike ọkụkọ ikuku anyị afụgo na ndị be anyị enwere uche anyị enwere uche obere oge onye isi anyị apụta ọkwa ife onye isi anyị apụtago onye isi anyị ọpụtago mana a na-eche ka 11th November gafechaa ka onye isi anyị wee ka wee lapịa 11 November gafechaa ka wee lapịa o nwere this guy a na-akpọ Anonymous o nwere this region a na-akpọ Anonymous masị this guy that thing ndị a kpọrọ Anonymous ka ndị Anonymous ọtụtụ mgbọsị ọtụtụ mgbe ife fa na-ekwu mana ọnwekwa mgbe fa ga-abụ fakwuo eziokwu adị ya mana ọ nwere nke fa enwetachara ife ndị a kpọrọ anonymous etresigo m ka mmalụ onye nọ behind the anonymous ahụ ọbụna ha there are a lot of them, there are region, but I found out few of them, but they are region. But it is important to know that Nanda and what information. Nanda and what information. But the thing there, you see, they told you November. Hassan Age released Nnamdi Kanu in November. But November is the month which is holding Nnamdi Kanu. 11th November is the month, is the day that is holding Nnamdi Kanu's release. 11th November. After 11th November, Nnamdi Kanu will be out. No question asked. I know that it will be surprising to some of you. The only thing that is holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now is 11th November. You remember I told you that the joker that they are playing, that they have to finish the election first. Tribunal election tribunal, they have to finish it first before coming to him. We know the game Nigeria is playing. We know it very well. And that is the reason why Asia Sigi Solundi Muzo. Solundi Muzo, eso zinende na amaruzo. Asunu kulu oda nunu chelu na echelu. Makana ife niile ndị Britain kwadola anyị, ha buru ha na Nnamdi Kanu. Ha mangosi anya for few days. Because half feel that half feel that Eastern Security Network, Eastern Security Network is our army. Onya wakufa na okufa otufoyi. If the leadership of IPOB me na tundi Britain oyi today. But una amaron. Una amalo. If ana apo diplomatic move. Una amana. All this while they are known from the DOS leader. Mazi Chike Doziam. Ima move on they make. And I bet you do because he doesn't need your approval. He does not need your approval. But no ya chola approval gibonyo yo cho come nke na afunanya. Come nke na afunanya. If that omel gi asige sample ekwe o ifu na cho. Nke na eme nke na afu anya. Unu welia unu echeta ihe ụmụ Israel na Aaron gabiga. Mgbe Moses ije na mountain mkpe ekpere. Oya ka unu ga-eji wee na-ajụ onwe unu ke ndị unu ife a ga-eme unu mgbe unu pụtalụ unu kwuo mgbe ọwụna ịpụtara na-achọ sample. I want sample. I don't want peace. I want problem always. You get a sense of nostalgia. What happened during the Moses time when he went to the mountain? The Israelites could not see him. They went to create a graven image. Onye nwa wetakwala alụsị ifo na Igbo today. Ife akpọrọ akpụ. Fefewia. Ayubia. Ekpeweri ekpere. Ọghọluchi unu. O kwesịrị ifu ka ndị be anyị si eso ndị mmadụ asị gị na ọkwa ndị na-eme nke a na-afụ anya ka a na-eso. Ọkwa onye ame na o wepụ onye anụnwa na strọgụl anwụọ. O wepụ ndị a, o wepụ Ekperima in Finland strọgụl anwụọ. Ha na-ekwu ihe ama na-ene mmadụ. Ị na-ene adọtụ, ọ na-anyụ mpụ n'ọnụ. Ị na-ene adọtụ, ọ na-anyụ mpụ n'ọnụ. Iti na-ewe m iwe. O kwesịrị ị na-eme ụdị ya nwe chetala onwe gị mgbe ụmụ Israel si n'Ijipt apụta. Kedu what happened when Moses went to seek for the face of God in the mountain? What happened? Because they look for Moses. Because onye faji melu chifa bụ Moses. A na-egwa ha okwu Chukwu. Fa chọdị ịma maka Chukwu ahụ na ezi Moses ihe ọ na-eme. Na ife fa chọ ma ndị confirm ahụ Moses ahụ. then mgbe Moses ligoro n'Enugwu nwee delay ịgbatu. O ligoro n'Enugwu nwee delay ịgbatu. And I still see that thing as a metaphor. You see that story, I still see it as a metaphor. When he had the delay, they need to look for themselves. Who is going to be our God? Who is going to console us? Fa akpọpụtawa ornament, ndị yi iyeli ntị, agbapụtawa ndị yi onu, ndị yi ife ụkwụ, agbapụtawa enye Aaron. Aaron onye nwanne Moses. Aaron onye nwanne Moses. Ngwa wele ya kpọọla anyị ife anyị ga na-efe godu before nwoke m anyị amara na ọ ga-agbadatakwa, anyị amara mbọsọ ọ ga-afụta. Onye nwa ka a na-asị unu na o wepụ Ekperima in Finland na struggle ahụ ngwo. So o wepụ Aaron kpụrụ ife ọkpụkpụ tinye efe n'ọnwụnwa. Remember na ife niile Aaron kpụrụ fa mezi Johnny fa kwesịrị travel for days, a travel oil for 1,000 years. In fact, I can on a journey and today. You know idea? I can on the journey today. Maka na Aaron kpụrụ anyị ife ọkpụkpụ. Anyị adịghị ife mebụrụ anyị na mbụ amụta ife. N'ife anyị na-eme wụ sample ekwe. Ọ dịka egwu. Mana ịma mma na ife na-esi mkpi isi nọ n'arụ mkpi. Ife na-esi mkpi isi nọ n'arụ mkpi. Aaron kpụchara ife fa na worship. Moses gbarata iwe wee ya. Otu anụ unu si wee welu Kanu nta Kanu ji wee kpọọlụ unu Simon. Maka Kanu nta Kanu so kpọọlụ unu Simon. Unu a na worship. O wepụ Ekperima na onwekwa onye ọzọ. Maka na a na-eme unu ada aghọta ife a na-agwa unu na a na-eme na-enweke na a na-eme ala idis ọ bụrụ ihe niile eme. A sị na okolo elulelu wara ọgọdọ ikuku evuru ya vuru ọgọdọ. Okolo elulelu wara ọgọdọ ikuku evuru ya vuru ọgọdọ. Eguzola ọtọ tụwa nwaanyị ma isu wee to God amụ onye ala. Ife niile a bụ inu atụrụ atụ enidi ịkọwara unu. Okolo elulelu wara ọgọdọ ikuku eburu ya vuru ọgọdọ. Unu egelo ntị mara ife merụ na 1967. Ka unu wee malụ ndị wotowoto unu na-asatụ wotowoto here unu akwadokwala ọfụma. Ọkwa unu fụ ndị a ga-eji nye unu wotowoto ọ dabie ha agbara Cameroon. So hapụta na ha ọwụ na anyị ji esowe ha create ọgụ unu ka na anụ ha nwa agbara Cameroon. Akpụdo onye ori anọlụ na Finland. Ndị create zi ọgụ agbara Cameroon. Ndị Naijiria wee zizie ndị ori ndị amị ha wee bịazie sụwa anyị akwụ. Asụchazi anyị akwụ ha adakpozi ụmụ nwaanyị anyị. Ọkwa ndị Fulani ha adakpozi ụmụ nwaanyị anyị mụwazi alụfa nwa. Otu esi mụọ alụfa mbọsị mgbe a na-anụ ọgụ. Onye nwa wee ndị anyị fụrụ akpọrọ udene. Ndị adakpocha mgbe ahụ. Ọfa nwa. Ịfụfa by their fruit you will know them. By their fruit you will know them. If ndị otu ndị Aaron that time. By their fruit you will know them. All one. So what is the moral of my story? It is imperative for us to understand that anything we are doing, we must check the history. And we must learn who knows the way. The person who is doing it good does not make a lot of noise. They are focused. They don't want approval from you. A good leader does not need your approval. They don't work with emotion. They don't work with your sentiment. But they might pick up some sense that you might make. They pick up from sense that you make. But they don't pick up your sentiment. That is a good leader. Do you think a nation is governed with sentiment? No. A nation is not governed with emotions. A nation is governed rationally. That's how you get a nation right. So, but that is actually, one thing our people doesn't understand, because they have never had opportunity to have a good leadership. they have never had opportunity to see what a good leadership entails. Even so many of our people who have traveled abroad, they are in abroad, they have never followed to see what is done right in this leadership, that everything is working. They don't ask these questions. They don't try to find out. That's what made me, to have some knowledge that I have. Because I have to go closer to know what makes things right. How are people doing? How did these people do things? I can't, if most of the time, I do research more. I hardly come to Facebook except if I see that I have to update something. I run inside, I update something, I go. Because I know that most of the time, I might not learn anything from Facebook, from YouTube, from anything. I need to start reading, I need to start studying. Once I hear something that, that makes sense, sometimes I even look for the etymological meaning of it. The etymological meaning of it. I check archaeological meaning of it. Because I know archaeology is not complete. But I try to, navigate everything to understand, to get the deep understanding about this. If a decision is passed, I check to see the result of this decision. What is the advantage of this type of decision that is passed in a particular, in a kind of a situation? How is it going to impact what we do? These are the things we need to pay attention to. Not woto, everyday woto. Ndi woto putawan. And whatever no jazo eje woto. You're not going anywhere. You see, pragmatism does not need approval. Why do I need approval from somebody who is not exposed, who is not inexperienced, who is having the blood, or who is walking in line with what Nigeria is? You see now we are fighting to reject Nigeria, but some of us are behaving like Nigeria. Are you paying attention? Some of us behave like Nigeria, but we are fighting to reject it. Why would you be claiming I am fighting to reject this, but you are behaving like it? Unconsciously. That's the reason why I actually, I don't get mad at all this Umuokoko, Nelson Autopilot. I don't get mad at them. I like to have a conversation, a healthy conversation, but they like to shout. They can never give you time to actually, get educated by you. Because they believe they know it all. And because they believe they know it all, that is the reason why they are being fooled. Believe you me, I am a very good listener. That's why I know a lot. I am not bragging about it. I know a lot. I am a good listener. I don't talk in a hurry. I would like to hear from you first. If I hear from you, you might be talking rubbish, but every rubbish you talk, there is a sense that will come out of it somehow. So I take the sense and I leave behind the rubbish. It doesn't mean that I am that person who can be overshadowed. No. I read meaning out of everything that you actually, say. I make use of them. If I was a fool, like some of Umuokoko that is here, following autopilot and insulting me because of autopilot, if I was a fool like them, I was supposed to be following autopilot today. Because I started preaching Biafra because of what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I was actually pushed to keep the fire burning. I was not, but I came to a point where I found myself into confessional conference. There is someone who is in Finland, who is, doing something else. There is the other one, I call it a conflict of interest. Then on the other hand, I started monitoring to see. For you to know, even at that point in time, I never knew that I even had, I even had people who will give me first-hand information. I never knew that I never remembered, not knew, I never remembered that I even had someone which I can actually, who will have access to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I never remembered that. But I was paying attention to stories going on in social media. That is the reason why most time I am not on social media. Maybe there is a notification, it comes. If I have time, I open it, I check it, I go off. I multitask every day. But most time I'm not on social media. Because most of the time, things that happens in social media is gossip. You might not learn a lot. Like people like me, the quality of what I know that I can give, I might not learn a lot. That is why social media, they suppress you. They suppress you to an extent that sometimes you feel like you want to get fed up. But because of that resoluteness in you, resilience, consistency, you keep pushing. If they give you 2 people to watch you today, tomorrow they give you 500, next tomorrow they give you 50, another one they give you 100, but you will have more than 10,000 followers. Then Facebook will be telling you, boost your video. Why should I boost my video? Show it to the 10,000 followers that I have, or 20,000 followers that I have. Show it to them first. If I am not satisfied, then I will boost it. So this video is boostable. Why are you suppressing it? So these are the things. Ụwa chọrọ eziokwu, ụwa chọrọ ihe ọma. Oya nwa mee Antonio Guterres today. Oya nwa mee eji watch aka ha ga-esi wee wepụ ife nọmba na ebe a. Watch just na anya na nọmba ahụ. Oya nwa mee, that is the reason why Antonio Guterres today is coming now to defend himself. He is now coming to defend himself. Number nọ na Facebook. That's why he is coming to defend himself. I did not say it like this, but I said it like that. Because the world does not want to hear the truth. The world that is the reason why there is what you call unipolar world. Unipolar world. That unipolar world is what we, if we deal with it, maybe the world will be a better place. If you go to United Nations Security Council, 5 nations makes decision there. 5 nations are the permanent members. They say what happens. And they are calling Guterres to resign. They are calling on him to resign. Because he asked them to go through the history. Or the same thing in Naguni here. Go through the history before you malifene number 1. Also, if I go through the history, we shouldn't forget the history of what is going on. He condemned Hamas, but they didn't see him condemning Hamas. What they saw is that he should go through the history because he stood for humanity. He didn't stand for unipolar world. He stood for humanity. That's why he is being bullied, has to resign. But that's what we get in the world that is run by unipolar system. In the world that is run by people who does not want to hear the truth. But until we meet again, I want you not to forget, 11th of November is the only thing holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. 11th of November. Don't forget that I told you. 11th of November is the only thing holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But you should not forget that do not allow people to do the thinking all the time for you. Sometimes do a self-introspection on yourself to say, are we still following? And those who are following autopilot blindly, ask yourself, ever since this guy in Finland started shouting, creating government in exile, inviting people to have referendum, what has he done for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What has he done for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? He created government in exile, what for? To use it to shield himself because he knows Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming out. Remember that all these years he's been using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu raise fund, IPOB this, IPOB that. But he noticed that the time frame is finished. The time, the time of captivity is over. So what he is doing is re-strategizing. He knows that Mazi is coming out. He is re-strategizing. That's why he is trying to remove himself from everything. Of course, after I speak this this evening, he will try to, he's emotional, like the people who follow him. Very emotional human being. So that is the reason why he's trying to tell you government in exile, so that he does not have IPOB on it, because he knows if he continue to use IPOB, what Ejimako stood for him, what Ejimako covered for him in Finland, it will now burst again. That's why I tell you, this guy will never, he wouldn't do nothing. Even if you are in Finland, call him Ekperima. If he take you to court, I will tell you what to file against him. One thing you should know is that the guy himself does not know what he's doing. But he knows that the people who are following him does not have brain. So that's why he can utter statement, public statement. He knows that they are daft following him. Of course, you know that when I had time for him, I do in-depth analysis on him, bringing the things he did, but this time around I don't have time for him anymore, because we are focusing. We are doing what needs to be done. That is the reason. But until we meet again, don't forget to give me that like button, love button, or whatever. It is for free. Don't forget to do it. Even on YouTube, click that like button. On Twitter, retweet the video. And we are going to come back. Like I said, if you think I have not been seen online for a while, go to my page. Anytime you think about me, go to my page. You will see a new video there, because we do video, but they don't inform you. They don't inform you. Algorithm does not inform you. So go there by yourself and search for it. And I salute all of you who are here, who are commenting. I salute all of you, including those who are insulting me. I salute you, because you find me worthy. That's why you came to this platform, to learn from me. Even though your ignorance will not allow you to appreciate it. But I know that one day the ignorance will leave you. That's why we are preaching. We are preaching for people like you, so that ignorance will go away from you. But until we meet again, the DOS are wise.